So those of you guys that have reads this evening, I am streaming live on YouTube as well. So if you miss it, if you fall asleep, if the Reiki Reiki session knocked your butt out, no problem. You can go and watch it on YouTube whenever you would like. Or if you just miss something that I say, you can go back and watch it on YouTube, okay? You are welcome. You are welcome, guys. I love that. I'm lighter and kind of numb in some places. Oh, hang on a minute here. Would it make sense because of supermoon? Yeah. This moon has just absolutely screwed a lot of people up. And it ain't over yet because of all the planets that are aligned around the moon, in line with the moon, such as Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury. Yeah, we're all going to feel this energy till probably about the 4th. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Don't shoot the messenger. All right. Tonya, are you ready, honey? So what shadow work reads are is I'm using 2 different shadow work decks. So this right here is the Mausolea deck. Like mausoleum, but with an A at the end. Mausolea, okay? This is an anchor to tell me where you are personally with your shadow work. This other one over here is called the Dark Mirror deck. I've had both of these for years. They are some of my favorite decks. I use them all the time. So these can help you pinpoint what's going on, maybe where you need to focus your shadow work, etc. Okay? And if you guys aren't sure where to start with your shadow work or you're new to all of this, every single Monday night at 6 o'clock Central Time, I do a free shadow work class right here on YouTube and TikTok. Okay? All right. Ready? Miss Tonya. Well, I'm just going to say right off the bat, this full moon really brought a lot of things together for you. And I would not be surprised if you had some major realizations over the last couple days, and we'll have some more this weekend. And I'll tell you and show you why here in a minute. Okay. All right. So you start off with the Traveler, which is the keeper of the crossroads. This is restlessness, independence, appraising where you're supposed to be versus where you are, etc. Now, I say where you're supposed to be. A lot of times we feel like we're supposed to be further ahead than we are. Like, I am so guilty of this. I have such a horrible problem with it. But this is super restlessness. It's looking at everything and going, oh my God, what am I doing? Why am I doing this, etc. I think this is really interesting because, and here's why I want to show you and why I said this full moon was so intense on you, okay? So with these cards, they also have moons on the side. And what I want you to notice is that both of these together make a full moon. So you have the 3/4 moon and a crescent moon. Literally, it makes a whole. So this moon was super intense for you. So you have forgetting oneself and fragmentation. So as these 2 things have come together and all this restlessness has hit, you've realized that there's a lot of places where you have been putting yourself last. You also realize that you've been putting yourself last for so damn long that you are so fragmented in a way that you almost don't know where to start. It's like, I don't know if y'all have ever played pick up sticks or you've done a puzzle that has like 2,500 pieces and they're like this fucking big, and you scatter them all out and you're like, oh my God, I have no idea where to start. Now, with puzzle, you can just walk away, but with yourself, you can't. Okay? So these 2 right here working together, I would bet up to this full moon, you kind of were a mess, but keeping it in a box, like keeping it under wraps. I'm not going to talk about it, so on. But this right here, all of this, forgetting yourself, this is where you need to start. Okay? You're already super restless and paying attention to every little thing. This is where you need to start. Look at the places where you always put you last. Now, when we have kids, when we have family, when we have a job, when we have all this stuff, we end up putting ourselves last because we're told we have to. You didn't see me yawn. You didn't see nothing. Just keep on moving about your business. When I say it's because we have to, it is in a way because we have to. If we have kids, they're dependent on us. We have to put ourselves behind them. Okay? But there are so many other places where we start forgetting ourselves. Thank you, M. We start forgetting ourselves because it's habit. So you need to look and see. That's because I'm on the wrong phone. You need to look and see where. We'll wait till I get the red dot of death gone. There we go. I am live on YouTube also. This is killing me. All right, let's do YouTube. I think you're the problem. I think YouTube is the problem. YouTube is the problem child this evening. Because when I get my phones close together, they don't work. That's what's up. All right. So, Miss Tonya, you need to start in the places where you are forgetting yourself. Why is that a thing? Because the places where you've been forgetting yourself, you've let yourself get so fragmented that you almost don't understand how to put the puzzle pieces back together. Does that make sense? When it gets that bad, it's too hard to deal with this. So you haven't dealt with any of the places where you've been really fragmented because of this. They go together, hand in hand. See? They go together hand in hand. All of this is popping up right now because of this full moon. So I'm going to say this. As your spiritual advisor, I'm going to say this. Be careful with yourself this weekend. Be easy with Tonya this weekend, okay? Don't do a whole bunch of stressful shit tomorrow. You need to take some time for just you. All those things that you forget about yourself with, I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. Be easy with you. Why am I yawning so much on yours, girl? Are you tired? Are you not sleeping? Go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah, your spiritual advisor is telling you, I saw somebody say me, not my. Your spiritual advisor is telling you, you need to be easy with you. You need to start with your shadow work on where you're forgetting you, and then look at the places where you have gotten so fragmented because you're forgetting you. Okay? Got it? Somebody drank all my Dr. Pepper shit. All right, Bria, you ready? Whoa, whoa, what I miss? Was that Justine? It's a girl. I'm just saying Bodhi is a fantastic name. I'm so happy for you, Justine. It wouldn't matter. I would have loved it if it was a boy. I'm not ever that person that gets upset when I get wrong. Girl, congratulations. Did you cry? Did you do the teary thing? Who cried? I want to know who cried. I'm so excited for you, honey. Oh, I love that. Congratulations, sweetheart. So for those of you guys that missed it, last night, Justine was on here and we chatted and talked a little bit, and she said, hey, I'm having a gender reveal tomorrow. You know, any thoughts? What do you think it is? And I was like, you know what? I don't ever do this, but it's a girl. It's a girl. Congratulations. Congratulations. I love it. Not me. Not me. No. That ship has sailed. No. Not me. No. Y'all keep that evil juju to yourself. But I'm so happy for you, Justine, honey. All right. Here we go, Bria. You ready? Wow, you can't make this shit up. I know y'all watch me shuffle. So, Bria, I'm going to say this. This is not going to hit you just yet, okay? Both of your cards have a crescent moon on them. And both of them are opposing crescents. So on either side of the upcoming new moon, this is going to hit you really, really hard, okay? Really, really hard. You start off with Hades, which is equality. It is inevitability. It's also really taking the things that you know are eventually going to happen and putting them in, okay, when this happens, instead of, we all know that we got to pay taxes. We all know that eventually we're not going to be here anymore, but we don't think about it. But what this card right here is all about is looking at, okay, I know one day I won't be here. I know one day I got to pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? So that is the inevitability of that this card talks about and facing it. Okay. The first card that you have here, and notice the crescent moon, is Gilded Regret. So in looking at this inevitability, you've been looking at things going, man, I really kind of regret not doing this, or I really regret doing this, or whatever. But the thing is, even though there's an inevitability that every single one of us share, doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like, we all share this inevitability that eventually we will not be here anymore. You cannot look at that inevitability with regret. You cannot look at that inevitability with, man, I wish I could have done X, Y, Z. Because guess what? Throughout your life, you have done exactly what you were supposed to do. You have done the exact things you needed to do at that moment. Every decision you made was exactly what was supposed to happen, good or bad. Don't regret things. Don't regret not doing things. You made the decision you needed to make at the time, okay? This is a really deep place for shadow work. Thank you, 757. This is a really, really deep place for shadow work, is working on what regrets we hold in there. And here's why. Because these regrets, the things that suddenly pop up and we're like, man, I've never regretted that before. Like, why is that suddenly a thing? It's because there is some kind of trauma, some kind of shadow, some kind of something behind that regret that we need to deal with. Okay? So if you have regrets popping up right now, Bria, write them down. Okay? I'm serious. Write them down, because you need to go through them one by one. I regret not going to this place. I regret not dating this person, whatever. Why? What is behind that regret? What trauma is behind that regret? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, you also have the fragmentation card, and notice that this is the opposing crescent. Okay, so either side of the new moon, this is going to hit you, and then this is going to hit you. Now, with the fragmentation card, let's talk about that. While Tanya's fragmentation was because she had been forgetting herself, your fragmentation is different. Your fragmentation is because while this is just hitting you and this is a thing, you apparently have been giving too much of yourself, and it's got you to the point where you've given too much. You can give too much, and then you can get to the point where you give too much, and there is no way that you can give any more. Okay? You're going to have to look at where you've been overextending yourself. We all overextend ourselves, okay? But you're going to have to really hardcore look at it and see what it is and where it is that you need to pull back some of that energy in that time. Because like this inevitability right here, you only have so much time in a day. You only have so much energy in a day. Okay? I'm glad that makes sense. I've been watching your comments there, Bria. I know y'all think I don't read the comments, but I do. But I do. Let's see if I can actually get these open. These things have been like really super hard to get open. All right, fine. I need an adult. This one is easy to get open. So I'm glad that made sense, honey. All right, Miss Chelsea Smart. I love it. Hey, A, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. Would you say not it? Not it, huh? Hey, love, how are you? All right. Well, Miss Chelsea. Okay. You've gotten a little hard lately, haven't you? Here's why. Woo. Okay. You start off with Abaddon, which is pestilence and malice and ambition. Okay, now the ambition part, yes, can be good. But the other two things, not so good. The reason I said you've gotten a little hard lately, A, is because of that. But B is because of this. This is, I won't cry for you. Just because I know you, I've read for you a lot over the last, oh my God, what, 2 years now? Almost 2 years now? And I know some of the things that you've been going through. I'm going to say this. This tells me, and this other card tells me that you've gotten to a point in your journey where you've stopped being as squishy. And in stopping being as squishy, you've kind of pulled over to the other way. Now, I'm not saying all of this is bad, because I know that you had some people that were taking advantage of you. But there are some people that they don't deserve to be cut off. They don't deserve to have no sympathy at all. Does that make sense? So this I won't cry for you is that you've gotten so hard. You've gotten so tough with it. Like, hey, I've been going through all this shit and nobody wanted to listen or help me. So I ain't helping you. You can go too far with it. So here's what I'm going to say. This part of this shadow work here, you need to look at why you're having that response only to certain people. There's certain people are triggering something in you that's making you do this. Okay? The other one is this. This is the artificial heart. And I want you to notice that this is a half moon and this right here is a new moon. Okay? On the half moon, you're going to find that this is really going to rear its head, where you're going to be wanting to tell everybody that you just don't care. So where is that coming from? Okay, where is that coming from? Look at the shadow work behind why you just don't want to give anybody sympathy or anything, okay? On the new moon, this is going to hit you really hard, where you've been going through a lot of life, a lot of things around you, just artificially like a robot. Like you have lost all the joy. You have lost all the, I don't like this. I do like this. You're just like, you know what? I just got to do it. I just got to do the thing. Like you've literally lost all the emotion. So look at why. I want you to, this one is actually a little easier to do, to be honest, than this one. Because with this one, when you look at why you no longer have emotion in areas, it's easy to go, okay, I'm burnt out on work and I haven't had a vacation in however many months, however many years. I haven't really got a full day off. I don't have any time to myself. Whatever it is that's making you go through everything without emotion, that's what you need to look at, okay? These are some hard things, girl. These are some hard things. But guess what? Because I do know you, and because I do know that you have gone through some really, really tough shit in your life, especially in the last few years, honey, you're way more stronger than any three of these things. Any three of these things. Don't forget that. Okay? Don't forget that, Chelsea. Seriously. Got it? I love you, kiddo. Just saying. Just saying. All right, Monique, you're next, love. I saw you. I saw you. How are you, sweetie? I saw somebody saying that for some reason the tickets weren't showing up for them. There's still a bunch. Well, I say a bunch. There's still a few. And you have until like an hour. So, yeah. No worries. Because after, okay, you're just going to throw cards at me, Monique. I got you. All right. We ready? Oh, tomorrow may be sold out. Yes. Really? Okay. I'll fix the tomorrow one. Okay. I'll fix the tomorrow one. Because it shouldn't be, but it may have timed out because I have the time wrong on here. Thank you, Christine. Will you remind me to fix that later? I am drooling and I'm sorry. Okay. Tonight, the shadow work cards are the top one. Okay? Yeah. All right, Miss Monique. Ooh, this full moon has brought out some interesting shit for you. I want you to notice something, okay? First of all, these are two separate decks. You start off with Morgan Le Fay, which is growth and atonement and deceit. First of all, I want you to notice Morgan Le Fay here in the middle, and I want you to notice everything around her. I also want you to notice the full moon back there. Okay? This is the queen of my world, and I want you to notice what's around her. I want you to notice all of that. I also want you to notice the full moon here. So, this is an interesting one. Are you ready? This full moon is bringing out two things. One, a massive amount of growth. But with growth, we also go through a massive amount of atonement. TikTok is being the problem child. I'm just waiting for the dot of death to go away. The red dot of death. Let's try it again. To be honest, I think a lot of it is this phone. I meant to use this phone for YouTube and my new phone for TikTok like I have been doing, and I did not because I am not intelligent this evening. I paused. As soon as I saw it was doing the red dot of death, I paused. So just so you guys know, I do pay attention. If I notice that that green dot is yellow, I pay attention. If I notice it's red, I stop. Okay? So, Miss Monique. There we go. Let's start here. This full moon has brought out an amazing amount of growth. And growth is a straight up, just shooting like a rocket. Okay? The problem is it also brought out some atonement. Now, the atonement has to do with this. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. Growth and atonement kind of go hand in hand. When we grow, we look back at things that we're like, ooh, that probably wasn't the best thing for me to do. Or, man, I can't believe I didn't realize better than that, etc. That's what this is about. The Queen of My World is a couple of different things. Queen of My World is putting yourself above other people in a way that becomes almost, I'm trying to think of the right word. I wanted to say addictive, but that's not the right word. It becomes habit. It becomes to the point where we put ourselves in a bubble over here so much that we don't pay attention to anything else. We don't pay attention to the world. We are just our bubble. That's it. Now, here's the thing. We're all guilty of this. I get in this so bad sometimes. And those of you guys that are workaholics, this tends to happen more than you realize. If you're a workaholic, you get into this right here a lot. Because you just knuckle down, you get tunnel vision, you get horse blinders on, and all you can do is just, bam, move forward, move forward, move forward. That's it. So we get in this, and then we get into, this is the only thing that matters, is this bubble here. And we can't pay attention to the things over here. So this right here is some major stuff that is coming out with this full moon. You going through this massive amount of growth and going through some atonement and this Queen of the World aspect where you're beating yourself up a little bit like, man, I probably shouldn't have done that. Man, I probably shouldn't have done that. Man, I probably shouldn't have done that. So here's what I'm going to say about these two. First of all, enjoy the growth. Second of all, pay attention to the things that you feel like you might be atoning for. Why do you feel like you're atoning for them? Pay attention to these areas where you're like, oh man, like my bubble has been so far up here and everything else is down here. Like I have no idea what's going on in the world, etc. I get super guilty of this because I don't like to watch the news at all. I just don't. Every single news station annoys the shit out of me. But I know that I have to watch the news. Well, I go through phases where I'm like, fuck that, I ain't watching the news. I watch under the desk news here on TikTok. That's how I get my news. And that's about it. Oh, and I watch Pearl Mania 5000. Those are two that I watch to get my news. Like, that's about it. I don't want to watch the news. My bubble ends up getting up here, and I forget about everything else. So that right there is kind of where you've got to do some shadow work and look at why you are putting your bubble way far away from everybody else's. Okay. The other one is this, and this is addicted. Now, notice this is a crescent moon. With this isn't going to rear its head until probably right before the new moon, between the last quarter moon and the new moon. I love you right back, Florida cowgirl, because this addiction, whether it's the workaholic stuff we talked about or something else. Oh, were you really? Interesting. Interesting. So there is something that you have gotten addicted to lately. And with these two things, I would bet it's probably being a workaholic. Or it is some other aspect of giving of yourself that you've gotten addicted to. Okay? You need to take a look at these things, especially during this moon phase. When this pops up, it's going to hit you like somebody smacking you in the forehead, like a ton of bricks. Pay attention to why you've gotten addicted to that. Does that make sense? Like a lot of times when I realize like, oh God, like I am working so much, like I'm not taking any time off, like I'm not talking to my kids or not talking, you know what I mean? I'm not spending time with my kids and blah, blah, blah. Work. Okay, what is it in me right now that's triggering me having to work a lot? Do you see what I'm saying? You have some interesting things to go through and deal with, but I know that this full moon has just ran you through the ringer, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this right here, this is a little crazy. I promise though, this weekend is going to be a really, really good way for you to get through some of this growth and some of this atonement and dealing with this. And then you actually have a little bit before this happens. You got like almost a month before this happens. So yeah, you can recover from this and then bam, this is going to hit you. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. All right. Miss Meredith. Hey, from one workaholic to another, girl, I get you. All right, I get you. All right. All right, Miss Meredith, you ready? I will refresh my list here in just a minute. I enjoy working too. I really do. I always have. I feel like I'm wasting away if I don't have anything to do. Does that make sense? Like, I completely understand how retired people get upset. And, you know, they're like, I'm going to waste away if I don't have anything to do. So, yeah. All right. Guys, don't come in and just spam the same question over and over and over. That's just kind of rude, okay? These are paid readings, and this is what I do for a living. So not only are you disrespecting me by coming in, that'd be like going up to a plumber and going, my toilet's broke, my toilet's broke, my toilet's broke. That plumber's going to be like, you're crazy, you're crazy. But you see what I'm saying? Like, don't come in and just spam the same thing, because like, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. And you're also disrespecting the people that have paid and are waiting patiently for their turn. Okay. Just saying. All right, Meredith, you ready? Let me refresh my list here, because I keep refreshing it. Just saying what I'm saying. All right. Miss Meredith, you have Charon the Ferryman, which is necessity and focus and transition. Woo! I'm sorry. This is an interesting card, because when I see this card, I'm getting my list back down to where it goes. Because when I see this card, I'm like, this right here means that you are in a super transition. Everything is fluid. Okay? So, just pay attention to this. Everything is fluid. It's okay. It's okay. We all go through phases where everything is fluid. It has to be that way sometimes. Don't stress about it. Thank you for subscribing again, Tom. The next thing is this, and I actually really love this one, okay? Notice the fluidity here. Transition and focus. This right here is the triumph of lies. And notice that this is the 3/4 moon. So as this full moon goes down over this next week, basically, you're going to start noticing a lot of this. While this is a shadow work card. Thank you, Lori. While this is a shadow work card, it's going to show you where a lot of people have not been being truthful with you. And with this focus, seeing that a lot of these people have not been truthful with you, you're going to start getting upset, and you're not even really upset at them. You're upset at yourself, because you've kind of known in your gut that they've been lying to you for a while, but you've glossed over it. So here's the thing, Miss Meredith. Don't beat yourself up too much here. Like I said, over this next week, you're going to start having a lot of things just be illuminated, where you're like, how did I let this go this far? We all go through things like this. With this transition and this fluidity going on, this is going to happen a lot. You're going to lose faith in a lot of people around you. You're going to lose trust in a lot of people around you. And you're going to realize that a lot of people around you have been violating your trust for a while. Now, the good thing is you have a while before anything else pops up. The next thing that's going to pop up is this. This is the addicted card. And notice that this is the crescent moon as well. Thank you for the roses, honey. Thank you for the hat. Notice that this right here, you've got a little while for it to pop up. This addicted thing here for you is a little different than it was for Monique. With this, you're going to realize that you actually have a lot of personal habits, a lot of personal views, etc., that you've been addicted to keeping in place. Because as you realize and see that several people in your life have been pulling the wool over your eyes, and as you're going through this fluidity and this movement, you're going to see where you've been addicted to certain habits and things that have just kind of been like an automatic protecting yourself. We all do it, so please don't beat yourself up. But this is kind of like a 1, 2, 3 thing here. Over this next month, you're going to have a lot of change. You're going to have a lot of transition. Not only that, unfortunately, you're going to lose some people out of your life. And then towards the new moon is going to be a good time to release a lot of shit. I'm just saying. Don't beat yourself up too much over this. But this is a great place for you to start your shadow work. Start looking at how you can focus on overcoming betrayals. Because they're going to start happening. They're going to start happening. Okay? Look at where you have been betrayed before, especially if those people are still in your life. All right? All right, Tonna, you ready? So let me refresh my list again because I saw a couple more people get added to it. All right. Oh, good. It didn't completely. So I have Tonna, Kathy, Lorin, Jackie, Diane, Jeffrey, Michelle, Emily, Nichole, Becky, and Amanda. There are still a couple of tickets left if you guys would like one. And then all of this is on YouTube for you guys. All of it's on YouTube for you guys on TikTok and you guys on YouTube. Thank you for watching. We'll make sure to get everything on there where you guys can, know exactly what time yours is. I couldn't figure out the word time for just a minute. All right, Tonna, here we go. Oh, no. No. Wow, that's not even a good scammer account. Not even a good scammer account. Wow. Not even a good scammer account. All right, Tonna, you ready? Like, damn, I can't even say anything because my inner grammar Nazi just came out like insane. I love you right back, tattoo addict. How are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. All right, here we go. It is what it is. I'm almost like, poor baby. Like, that's like a bless your heart thing, but not even in a fuck you way. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, baby. Like, oh, let me help you spell. Oh. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just giggling at this point. Like, I screenshotted the person, but I don't even know if it's worth it to even do anything. That's what it is. Miss Tonna, I promise. It's all you. It's all you, love. Okay, ready? Okay. You start off with the Lady of Masks. This is all about reclaiming yourself. It is opal. This is all about reclaiming yourself. Now, reclaiming yourself takes a bit. It takes a bit. Thank you for resubscribing, Sarah. It takes a bit, and here's why. We didn't lose ourselves overnight. We didn't lose ourselves like that. It took a while. It took a while of us losing bit by bit by bit by bit. So, Miss Tonna, you're not going to regain this overnight. But I have a feeling that this moon in particular showed you where you've got to regain you. You've got to regain you. One of the places you're going to start with is this, and this is the bride in a cage. This is where you feel like you have been trapped. You have been kept behind, I don't want to say behind bars because that's not really the right thing. You have been kept behind for so long. Try to refresh this again. That you can't move forward. It's like being this beautiful, beautiful parrot that's in a cage that's never let out. Not only being in a cage that's never let out, but being in a cage that's never let out in a room with no windows where no one ever comes to visit. I gotta quit eating peanuts and then talking. So, Miss Tonna, I'm sorry that you've been put in this place. It's not I was gonna say it's a not nice place to be. It is not a nice place to be. Please know that there are a lot of us that know exactly how this feels. Okay? The other thing is this. It's going to take a lot of shadow work to undo why you let this happen. And here's where I tell you guys this after I get a drink of tea. We are the only ones that give away our personal power. I want you to listen to that again. We are the only ones who give away our personal power. We hold the key to our own freedom. And I know that's what you have just found. You have just found the key to being you once again. So now you have to deal with letting go of this. Because the problem with letting go of this is that you're going to be stressed so much about getting out of that cage that you're not going to look at why you were put in the cage to begin with. Okay? We end up putting ourselves in a cage. We allow someone else to put us in a cage. And we actually hold the key. That cage is not real. The cage is not real. Now, here's the thing. As you're going through this is going to pop up at the same time. Notice the crescents. This is gilded regret. A lot of times when we realize that we have been going through something that we put ourselves in, then we start regretting why we put ourselves there to begin with. But honey, let me tell you this. Don't regret the decisions you made. You made them for a reason. You were there for a reason. Look at the trauma behind why you're regretting those decisions, okay? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You hold the key to this cage right here, babe. Reclaim you and go be that powerful, badass Tonna, okay? Just saying what I'm saying. All right. The next person on my list is Kathy Mazzell. How are you, Kathy? How are the boys? Hey, Taurus love. I'm glad that makes sense. All right. So let me shuffle these cards and then I will show you the nails. Maybe I need to have a challenge. I'm really partial to like super shiny nails, right? So these are actually holographic on the ends and I don't know if it'll shine correctly and show you guys, but I'll show you guys over there on YouTube too. But yeah, there we go. That one shows really good. These are holographic on the ends and they have the ombre to black. But underneath, I always do this because I have my hands in front of you guys a lot. I have my hands in front of you guys a lot. And I mean, as you can see, like some of that is my real nail down there. Like my real nails aren't this long, but they're getting pretty long. But I can't stand it when, and this is just me, when I have my nails done and I'm like, hey guys, and I do this and you can see that gross shit all up. I'm too much of a Capricorn. I can't. I can't. I need them to be pretty underneath too. So these actually glow in the dark underneath, and I'm not going to lie, almost on a nightly basis, I scare the shit out of myself with them. And you would think at this point I would be used to it. But I'm not. I'm not. I will be going to the bathroom in the dark at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to turn the light off or on or something and be like, ah, shit. Yeah, on a nightly basis. On a nightly basis. On a nightly basis. My dude likes them, so that's what matters. But yeah, I like putting the glow in the dark underneath. It's just cool. I mean, I could have her do just regular pink, but I don't know. I wanted something really cool underneath so y'all wouldn't see all of the crazy bullshit under my nails. You know what I mean? Everybody has that. But maybe I need to do, you know, let you guys pick my nails the next time I go in. I usually do the cat eye or something super shiny, holographic, etc. The first time I ever went to Win, she did these nebula nails that were just gorgeous. They were just gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Fire Witch. I think so. I think so. So, yeah. I'm glad that everybody's doing good in your house, Kathy. You got some interesting cards going on. All right. You also start off with Abaddon. This is pestilence and corruption and malice. So Kathy in a little bit of a baneful place. Don't tell nobody. Kathy's in that this whole Aries energy has got the Kathy. And what's funny is if you know Kathy, Kathy's like super sweet, right? But this Aries energy has got Kathy all about the, all right, motherfuckers. But here's the thing. Even though this energy has got you kind of fucked up a little bit, you're worried about it. See the full moon? See? Ate the peanut. Gonna die. Not really. All right. No more eating peanuts and talking. I'll just eat peanuts when I play on my phone later. All right. All of this weird energy that's coming with the Aries moon that you're like, I don't understand why I am all about, I'm going to put you in a jar. 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 Like you're all about it. And you're worried about it. You're worried about why you're all about like the baneful stuff right now. All about, you know, wishing bad on people or whatever. Here's the thing. This is that black flower fragrance. This is also the full moon. One of the things that I would say to work on right now, especially with having this Abaddon card here, is to look at why you get so upset when, at yourself mainly, whenever you have to be harder, when you can't be the nice, sweet Kathy that you are, when you can't be the supportive Kathy that you are. A lot of this has to do with your own sensitivities. And I don't want to tell you all of it because I know you and this is a shadow work read and you're supposed to find out for yourself. But I know that you're a sweet person and I don't think there's a mean bone in your body. So when this pops up and you're like, oh yeah, oh I got you, motherfucker. I got a brand new pickle jar home, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? You really need to look at why you get so worried when you go from 0 to badass bitch like that. And I don't mean badass bitch in a good way. You really need to look at why. Like, what's the underlying trauma there that's making you feel like you can't ever be that person? Okay? Does that make sense? Because of this one right here. And this is the 3/4 moon. So you're going to have an interesting week because you're coming off this energy here and going to be going into this energy here. This energy, this triumph of lies is a little bit different for you because instead of having people that you're going to see are betraying you or, you know, lying to you or whatever, you're going to have a major breakthrough with these two aspects where you have been kind of fooling yourself as well, where you have either had some self-imposed beliefs or some self-imposed rules that have been holding you back and you haven't realized they've been holding you back. What I'm going to say is this. Pay really close attention to why you feel like with the pestilence and the malice and the badassery, why you feel bad about that. It's going to give you a big insight into why you have been doing these certain things, these certain behaviors, these certain patterns. Does that make sense, Kathy? We all go through this, so don't. Every single reading, every single shadow work reading, I want you guys to know this. We all go through this. We all go through everything I'm telling you guys at one point in our life or another. What these reads are for is to help you pinpoint what's going on, why you're feeling the way you're feeling, the issues you're having, etc. So, I hope that made sense, Miss Kathy. And just know you're not the only one that has ever gone through this. We'll go through it. We'll beat the shit out of themselves. Dude, my air conditioner came on and I'm fucking freezing now. And I love you, sugar. I love you. I just want you to know that. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. All right, Miss Lorin. I shouldn't say Miss because I actually know a guy named Lorin. So I shouldn't say Miss. All right, Lorin. Lorin, I gotta know, is that your actual last name? Because if so, dude, that's epic. That's epic. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I love you too, Lorin. He hasn't popped in yet. He threatened to a while ago. Said he was gonna pop in and make me embarrassed. It's a good embarrassment. It is, dude. That is amazing. I'm sorry, but I think that is the coolest last name. And I would bet everybody gets it wrong. Am I right? Does everybody get it wrong? I'm sorry. When I read that, I was like, that is a kick-ass last name. That is a kick-ass last name. I would like for you to work, computer. Like, I'm about to fight you in your face. We're about to just full on fight in your face. Y'all ever seen somebody fight a computer right in its face? Because this is what's about to happen. It's what's about to happen. All right. Woosah. Woosah. Oh, yay. I'm so glad to have you. All right. You ready? Gotcha. So you start off with the Morrigan. So this card right here is opposition and anticipation. It is realizing that you've been loving the underdog too much. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? When the Morrigan pops up, she's a very intense energy. This is a very intense card. If you guys don't know, every single deity in this deck is pretty fantastic. Like, I love the Mausolea deck. The Morrigan is considered a triple goddess. Yeah, she's a pretty intense one, okay? When this pops up, it tells me one thing, especially in a shadow work reading, that you have been looking so deep inside and overthinking literally everything that you almost can't even pay attention to anything going on around you. All right, we got the yellow dot of death, and I'm not about it. So y'all get to come a little closer, or not. Or not. YouTube, you're not the problem child tonight. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Why is TikTok always the problem child? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. So this tells me, Lorin, that you've been overthinking literally everything. Whether you're an overthinker or not, like it's to the point where you're like, oh God, I am literally overthinking everything. Now, this next one is envious gluttony. Now, this is the 3/4 moon. This is going to pop up a lot this week. Not only is this going to pop up a lot this week, but the envious gluttony card is all about looking at things and aspects of other people and going, not only, man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could be that. But to the point where you almost start to wish bad on the person. Oh my God, their life is too perfect. Like, fuck them. I hope this happens or that happens. You know, we've all said it. We've all thought it, said it, etc. I love your face. We've all thought it, said it, etc. Okay? But here's the thing. It gets to a point where we start to really worry about it. And I would bet that that is why you've had the overthinking as well. Know that this week right here, it's going to really pop up for you. And you're going to kind of be like, shit, where did that come from? Thank you, Jules. I appreciate it, love. Y'all, this full moon energy right now with Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury all in line, it's intense. It's intense. It's not going to go away till the 4th or so of October. That's another 4 days. Y'all have another 4 days of this emotional shadow work shit. I'm just letting you know. There's going to be some things pop up that you're going to go, where did that thought come from? That is not my thought. I'm just letting you know. The other thing is this. You also have I Won't Cry For You. And notice that this is the half moon. With this is going to probably get you a little bit. The other problem, let me talk about this one more little thing, and then we'll talk about this. The side effect that comes with this is gaining something called imposter syndrome. We get to the point where if it's not straight out, you know, I'm really envious of this person's this, or how they act or whatever, it becomes an imposter syndrome. And then we look at it and we go, oh, well, you know, they have XYZ. So since I don't have XYZ, I'm not ever going to be as good as this person. That's also part of having this envious gluttony. We get to the point where we are beating ourselves up so much, thinking that we're an imposter, that, you know, I could never do that. Like they have blah, 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 blah. I don't have blah, 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 blah. I only have blah, blah, blah. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, Lord, a school of all the protection on you. Damn. I don't know if you could pay me enough to work in an office or a building that's all women. I'm sorry. I love y'all. I love women. Y'all are some of the smartest motherfuckers on the planet. But y'all also know there is always one. There is always one that is the shit stirrer. They come in with the biggest fucking stick and they have to stir the pot. They have to stir the pot. And then you always have 2 or 3 that they're not sure which side to play, so they get on the pot stirrer side, and then they just kind of go back and forth. You see what I'm saying? Nuh-uh. There is no fucking way. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay. So now that we talked about this, don't let that imposter syndrome get to you, Lorin, okay? Because it can and it will, and especially in a place of all women. Yeah, you're gonna have that imposter syndrome. So let's talk about this, because Life will just do this to you. Life will do this to you. We all go through periods where we are way, way, way too hard on ourselves, on everybody around us or whatever. With you, I don't feel like this is at other people. I feel like this is with you, just by seeing these other cards. I don't feel like you are too hard on other people. I don't feel like you tell other people, you know what? Like, I'm sorry. Don't cry about it. Rub some dirt in it. You did it to yourself. You don't do that to other people. You do that to yourself. You do that to yourself, and that, oh, you know what? You made this decision. You dated this person, or you took this job, or you did this, or you did this. So you beat yourself up. In other words, like, oh, you made the decision. Fucking live with it. Just because you made the decision, guys, doesn't mean you have to live with it. You made the decision, and you can undo the decision. You see what I'm saying? It's literally how that works. Literally how that works. Gotta make a note. There we go. All right. Keep that in mind, Lorin. Okay? I actually wrote that down so I could remember to do a video about it, because I need to hear that advice. I need to hear that advice sometimes. You know, all those videos where people are like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but they did. They needed to hear it. That's why they said it. They needed to hear it. That's why they said it. Just saying. A lot of times when I'm like, here's some advice, it's because I needed to hear it. But Lorin, with you, honey, you beat yourself up. Okay? You beat your own self up. You are way, way, way too hard on you. Okay? Don't be so hard on you, honey. Don't be so hard on you. All right? Gotcha. And I saw you say something about someone coming to come to visit you on Friday. I'm so sorry, sugar. I'm sorry. Maybe I need to start doing some of the sigils again, showing you guys how to draw them, creating some bind runes. Thank you, Miss Jessica. And so on like that, that you can use in your classroom or in your offices or in your space to make people that have ill intentions not want to visit. Thank you, Adam. How are you? All right. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. I'm sorry, honey. That's her own issue. Here's what I'm going to say. If you did nothing to deserve her anger at you, know this. That is a her issue. That is a her issue. It's not a you issue. That's a her issue. Okay? Just saying. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. Have you talked to your boss about it? Because that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, hey, like, this is not cool. This is not cool. Don't make me put her in a jar. Because I will. All right. Miss Jackie, are you ready? You also start off with the Morrigan, but yours is a lot different. So you also start off with, hey, Eddie, how are you, sweet pea? You also start off with the Morrigan. Eddie, have you gotten your packages yet? Just asking. Just asking. Gotcha. Okay. So she's having some little territory issues. I understand. I do. I'm a Capricorn. I'm super territorial. I am super territorial. So, all right. Miss Jackie, you start off with the Morrigan. This is anticipation. It is looking in. It is introspection. It's all the things. It's all the things. Okay? just like I was talking about with Lorin, a lot of the things, especially when this pops up in a shadow work a shadow work reading, it's because you are overthinking literally every little thing. You are overthinking every little fucking thing. Here's why. Now, ready? This is the queen of my world. Good. I'm glad. I just wanted to make sure. I figured that if you didn't, that we would know about it. But yeah. Did they smell okay? Did they smell okay? Was everything okay? Let me ask. Was everything okay? This is the queen of my world card, Jackie. Now, with you, this full moon here has brought up areas where you need to be more assertive. And again, that's partially why you've been so introspective. You have this massive amount of power coming in right now, and you're looking at things going, I need to be more assertive. I need to be this way. I need to be that way. I need to do this. I need to do that. But the problem is this. The reason this is popping up in a shadow work read is because you need to look at what is keeping you from being this queen. What is holding you back? What in you is holding you back? There's a lot of times that we have self-imposed beliefs. They're also called self-schemas that we hold within us. There are things that we've been told. There are things that have been projected on us. There are just things that we learned as a kid, just from being raised the way we were raised. They keep you from owning your own personal power. Okay? This is some intense shadow work that you're going to be going through this weekend and this next week. Girl, be this fucking queen right here. Okay? I want you to really look at this card. This is who you should be. Hey, Jeep, how are you? This is who you should be. Period. The next one here is fragmentation. This one's come up a lot this evening, if you guys haven't noticed already. Now, towards the new moon, you're going to find out that you have a lot of areas that are fragmented, and doing all of this, you're going to see where this is. You have let a lot of this get in the way, and now you have all these fragments here and there. By giving away your personal power and by not owning who you are and who you should be, you're going to find that you have kind of let these fragments drift apart a little more than you realized that they had. Does that make sense? Both of these go hand in hand. Own this queen energy, and all of these fragments will pull themselves back together. Okay? These two go hand in hand. That makes sense? You are so funny, Dank Visions. I've caught myself doing that too. It's just, what's even funnier is, I know people think that that's a big Christian thing, saying, oh, bless you. It's literally not. Like, people used to say it back in the medieval times, because if you sneezed, they thought you had a demon in you. So they said, bless you. Usually it was much longer than that, to get the demon out of you. So I always think it's really funny, because I actually know some pagans that get mad when people say it. I'm like, why? Why would you get mad? Like, why would you get mad? I mean, if you think about it, a sneeze is exiting your face at like 200 miles an hour. That's some pretty hard expelling of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some pretty intense shit right there. Obviously, you needed to get rid of something. Miss Diane, you are next. Let me refresh my list real quick here. Ugh, makes my nose. Somebody once told me that you can't sneeze with your eyes open. And so for like the longest time, I was like, bet I can too. So I was like this every time I thought I was going to sneeze. I'm like, oh no, you can't. You can't. I can't. Hey, William, thank you for subscribing, love. I'm just saying, like my Capricorn self, like, don't tell me what I'm not going to do. Don't tell me what I'm not going to do. You tell me that I can't sneeze with my eyes open. Watch me. Yeah, I can't. I can't. It's what it is. All right, Miss Diane, are you ready? I tried. I shit you not. For like 8 or 9 years, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. No. Like I would walk around like this. Like, no, your eyes can still close. They go like that. Like, yeah. All right, Miss Diane. Here we go. Thank you. They're actually turned around backwards. I don't know how I got them on backwards, but they have these beautiful, I think I just have them on the wrong ears, but that's okay. But yeah, I love them. I had a wonderful fan send them to me off my Amazon wish list. I love big old massive earrings. So yeah. I need to dress up and wear the gorgeous, huge feather ones that Christine Carver got me. Because they're my favorites. All right. Focus, bitch. Diane, you have Hades. This is equality, wisdom, inevitability. Then you have the child I was meant to be. Notice the full moon. The full moon. Okay? So this equality is the part that has got you the most with this full moon. And it is this. Okay, there it is. For some reason, something about this full moon has reminded you of a lot of stuff when you were a kid that never got healed. There are things about your childhood where you were not ever really allowed to be the kid you needed to be. I'm sorry, I just read that. Angel, I love you. I just read Angel said, now I wonder how many people in here, including myself, is going to try to sneeze with their eyes open. All of you. I'll just give you that answer right now. All of you. There might be 1 or 2 of you that's already tried it, but all of you. I'm just saying. All of you. All right. Miss Diane, you have some inner child work to do, baby. Here's the cool thing about being an adult. You ready? Here is the coolest thing about being an adult. Especially being an adult on your own under no one else's roof that nobody can tell you what to do. You can be the biggest fucking child you want to be. You can. You can. If you go to Walmart and you want to buy the big multicolor rainbow fuzzy house shoes that have the big claw feet, you can buy them. If you want to eat cookies for dinner before you actually eat dinner, you can do that. Like you can, if you never learned to skateboard as a kid, you can now. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Inner child work is hard, but not that hard. Okay? Inner child work is hard, but not that hard. Wow. When you guys are going through shadow work, you will come across a point where you have inner child work to do. You will. It's inevitable. Miss Diane, it is your turn right now to do the inner child work. So look and see where it is about your childhood that's affecting you now and what can you do to fix it. Start small. When it comes to inner child work, start right here. Start small. What toy did you not get as a kid? Like, say you wanted this for Christmas so bad, you never got it. I know it still sticks with you. We all have one toy that we didn't get for Christmas one year, okay? What is it you didn't get? You literally could go buy yourself. Or you could go buy yourself something like it now. I'm just saying. It may sound stupid, and it may sound little bitty, and it may sound trivial, and it's like, I'm an adult buying a toy. Like, why would I do it? Do it. Seriously. Seriously. I'm telling you. Do it. Okay? Okay? The other thing is this. You have bride in a cage. Now, looking at this inevitability and this equality and this introspection here, not only do you have a lot of inner child work to do, but the other thing is this. You're realizing that you are in a place of your own making, that you hold the key to that. I full on expect you, Miss Diane, by the new moon, that you are going to be free of so much shit. Free of so much shit. But here's the thing. When this comes up and you realize that you have been in a cage kind of your own making, you're going to beat yourself up. This card right here and this card right here tells me that you're going to beat yourself up. Don't do that. Just because we realize that we're in a cage of our own making, it doesn't mean that we have to stay there. Okay? And you made the decisions. It's okay. You made the decision you needed to make at that moment in your life. Okay? Oh, thank you, Dank. I appreciate that. All right, Jeffrey Harris, are you ready? I literally was the redheaded stepchild. Literally. Just say what I'm saying. All right. Y'all didn't see that. Y'all didn't see that. Hey, Morgan, how are you, honey? How are you, Jeff? So, I want you guys to, I just want to say something about Jeff real quick. Whenever my TikTok really started blowing up and I decided to open my shop to the public and things like that, Jeff sent me a crate. And when I say a crate, I mean like a fucking legit crate. Jeff sent me a 55-pound crate. And I'm not going to lie, when we got it from the post office, I was a little like, what the fuck is in here? Who sent me, what is this? Because this thing looked like Fort Knox in wood. So I was kind of like, oh shit, like, should I wear a mask when I open this? Like, what should I do here? And then I started opening the things that Jeff sent me. And it really, really humbled me. Because Jeff sent me some of the most amazing pieces that I mean, they're still like some of the most amazing pieces that I own. And one of them in particular was a big chunk of turquoise with a blue ribbon around it. And he sent this amazing, beautiful letter with it. And I'm gonna say this too. I actually struggled really hard with the gift that Jeff sent me, with the gifts that Jeff sent me, because I had the imposter syndrome. I have the imposter syndrome bad sometimes. So please, please don't you guys ever think that just because someone has a lot of followers or they're in movies or on TV, that they don't have imposter syndrome too, because they do. We do. Okay? So I struggled with it for a while because I thought I'm not worthy of a gift like this. I'm not, like, who am I that someone would take the time and think of me in that high a regard to do that for me? I had never met Jeff at this moment, okay? So I actually struggled with it. Jeff, you probably don't know this, but I struggled with it to the point that I reached out to one of my actor friends and just was like, hey, can I pick your brain for a minute? Because I've been at conventions where people have brought him artwork that they worked for 6-8 months on to be able to present to him. That's a lot of someone's life to do that. And so it meant more to me than you'll ever know. And then I met Jeff in Nashville, and the fucker brought me even more crystals that, oh my God, he has the greatest, I don't know where he finds this shit, but I'm just saying. The crystal porn is fantastic, okay? So when anybody comes to my house, I take them around and I show them the pieces that you sent me. Legit. I show them the pieces that you sent me. They're displayed like, I've gotten told repeatedly that my living room is like a museum. But Jeff's a collector, and he has very exquisite tastes, and he finds some amazing pieces. But I show everybody the pieces that you sent me. I got to show Leanne last night and this morning. Or no, last night. We talked about a lot of them. I got to show Leanne. Anybody that comes to my house, I take them around, and I'm like, you got to see this. Like, look at what Jeff sent me. Like, you got to see this. You got to see this. So I just wanted you to know that. It took me a while to feel worthy of all of those pieces. I still don't know if I do. But let's talk about Jeff. Let's talk about now that I've built Jeff up, let's go and cut him off at the knee. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So Jeff starts off with the Eternal Servitor. I didn't even look down at these cards yet. This is funny. So this is hope and yearning and incompleteness. This right here tells me that you struggle not with imposter syndrome, but with being the outsider, always being the outsider, and that it is really rampant right now. This is alone in the world. This incompleteness tells me that you have felt like this for a very long time. And not only have you felt like this for a very long time, but you don't know how to combat it. Because this incompleteness and this alone in the world, you always see the glass as half. It doesn't matter if it's half full or half empty. You always see it as half. Even when the glass is almost full. Your brain has been trained to see it here, one way or the other. So here's where I would say to start with this shadow work. Look at the last time that you felt just truly alone. Okay? Because I identify with this card and with this a lot. I know that you're an insanely intelligent guy. And if I remember right, you're a little neurospicy as well. People that are neurodivergent, neurospicy, always have this alone feeling. We just do. So look at the last time that you really felt like you were the complete outsider looking in with nobody really to hold your hand over here. And then the simple question is like a 2-year-old. Well, I guess a 4-year-old. Why? Okay. Why did that particular sentence that person said on TV make me feel like I was super alone? Do you see what I'm saying? Just start with little bitty things. Just why? Because this right here is a big thing, and it's hard to unpack, especially when you are the neurospicy. It's hard to unpack. It may be something that you never completely get to unpack. But I do want you to notice, I love this card because he has the hole right there in the middle of his chest. I don't know what better artwork could be done for feeling incomplete. But notice that he has the full moon in his hand. He's always hopeful. Like, do you see why I love this particular card right here? Hits me in a way that like some of the others don't. They're all beautiful cards, but I want you to really, really look at that. Is that not a better way to depict incompleteness, but still hope? And it kind of looks like Groot. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. But here's what's funny. Are you ready for the third one? You ready for the third one? Remember how I just said that Jeff has all these amazing crystals, and he sent me pictures of some of the ones that are in his house? Like, dude, if y'all saw half, if y'all saw a quarter of the things in Jeff's house, like crystal, just crystal wise, holy shit. I love you right back, T. Are you ready for this? So Jeff has some really amazing crystals, and I would never want to be on the receiving end of this, but this is the revenge card, which tells me that this is going to pop up. And notice that this is the 3/4 moon. Notice that we're going from the full moon down. So something this week is going to pop up where Jeff is ready to really do some painful shit. So when that pops up, Jeff, and you're like, you know what? Guess what? You're going in a jar, bitch. Like, I'm just saying, why? Look at why, Jeff. I want you to have a little 4-year-old Bodhi with you that every time something pops up, I want you to hear me go, why? 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 Now, this one's actually a little easier to deal with than this one. It's a lot easier to deal with. Revenge is super easy to deal with. Because when you go why, you always have an answer for the why. Think about it. If you've ever felt like you needed to get revenge on somebody, and if somebody were to say why, you immediately were like, cuz blah, 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 blah. And blah, 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 blah. And blah, 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 blah. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Hey, Raven. Well, you'll have to come see the shop if you're in Tulsa. Yeah. Revenge is an easy one because you always know why. But the why behind the why is what actually matters. Yes, this person did this. Yes, they're a piece of shit for that. But why do you feel like you need revenge on that person? Does that make sense? Now, am I saying not to take that revenge? Absolutely not, because y'all saw exactly what I was doing today. Does that make sense? That makes sense, Jeff? So, a really easy one and a hard one. Because, you know, why would you just be easy? Why would you just be easy? Just saying. You know, for those of you guys that are subscribers, I need to go through and post some pictures just for you guys on here. Maybe I will post some pictures of some of the beautiful pieces that Jeff sent me, if you guys would like to see them. How about that? Nope, we're not going to eat a peanut while we're talking. Don't do that, bitch. Thank you for letting me read for you this evening, Jeff. It's been a while since I have. All right. Miss Michelle. Let me refresh my list and see how many more I've got to go. I may... Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, sweet friend. I love you. Hope you know that. Jeff drove all the way from Ohio to Nashville to meet me. It still blows my mind that you guys drive that far to see me somewhere. Like, it absolutely blows my mind. So tickets went off at 11:30, so that way I can actually get some sleep tonight. So yeah, I already did Reiki this evening, love, but I will be doing some again on Monday. But yeah, Jeff drove all the way from Ohio to Nashville to see me. Made me feel super special. Bitsy drove all the way from Tennessee to stay here for a week and learn from me. By the way, if you guys are interested in coming down and learning from me, just send a message to the site. Let me know. We'll figure it out. There are some... If I don't kind of know you personally already, just know that There is some stuff we got to do, you know, just saying what I'm saying. So, hey, KP, thank you, love. But, yeah, it always fails to, it never fails to amaze me. There we go. Never fails to amaze me. So, yeah. I don't like Twix, so that's all you. That's all you, love. All right. Miss Michelle, you ready? Ooh, I love this card too, but only because I'm a big World of Warcraft nerd. And this one, how many of y'all played World of Warcraft? Let me just ask that. Those of you guys that played World of Warcraft, you're going to see this card and you're going to be like, ooh. This is the Keeper of Whispers. I just saying. Let me show you real close up here, YouTube. I don't know why. But this right here, I'm trying to remember what area it's in, but there is an area like back in the vanilla. It was like, God, be careful going to that area. But it's this dark gray, just canyony place like this. And there are beings like this in there. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. So this is the Keeper of Whispers. This is curiosity and madness. A lot of times our, oh, Abby, that hurt. Abby said, I was 5 when the vanilla came out. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right. It also represents forbidden knowledge. That tells me right there, and especially seeing these other two things, that you've been growing at an exponential rate, that you are gaining so much knowledge that you're forgetting about you. Notice this is the 3/4 moon as well, meaning this week, this is going to pop up a lot. You're going to realize where you have been growing so fast, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, you've been growing so fast that you are forgetting about yourself. Yes, that's the thing. We can get to where we're moving forward so fast. We get so caught up in just the movement, just moving forward. It does make you think of the Lich King, doesn't it? Just moving forward, that we forget that we are here. We forget that we are the ones moving forward. We just get so caught up in the journey and we forget all about ourselves. So Michelle, this week when this pops up, when you realize like, woo, I am in some information that is, I probably shouldn't be here. I probably shouldn't be here. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm saying. You need to stop and go, okay. What have I been putting on the back burner for myself? What have I been pausing? What have I been not doing? What have I stopped doing? Okay. Aw, thank you, little Bluey. I love that. I love that. Thank you. The other thing is this, love. For those of you guys on TikTok, little Bluey said, hi, I'm a new subscriber and I watch you on TikTok and I love your TikToks. I love you right back, honey. Here's what's funny. These two cards seem super hypocritical because this one here is forgetting oneself. And this one is Queen of My World. So we talked about this one. So let's talk about this one. And I want you to notice that these two have a lot of the same colors in the cards. A lot of the same colors. They go hand in hand. Now, this one here is a little different, okay? This is a separate issue. The thing about this one is when this card pops up, and notice that it's the full moon, okay? When this card pops up and it's not related to one of these. Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. I'm just trying to keep in the moment and, and get this going. My printer just randomly came on. Maybe it's going to start printing money. That was just weird. I'm just like, okay. Like it lights up and it changes colors. It just randomly came on. Like it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's go back to this card. When this card pops up, it is not directly related to anything else. There is something, some situation that it's almost like you are taking this I'm right and everyone else is wrong stance on. We all do this, okay? So please, please don't think that please don't shoot the messenger, okay? We all do this. I am super guilty of this sometimes, especially in my shop. And I know you're like, well, it's your shop. Right. But this is like, when you have someone, and we all know this person. You have someone in your car and they are back seat or side seat driving. And they're like, well, you should have turned here and you should go here and you should go here and you should go here. And they rule every little thing you do with your car. They make you turn here. They make you go here. They make you speed up. They make you slow. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That is what this energy is like. I'm guilty of it because I get in my shop and I'm like, no, we have to do it this way, like XYZ. And like my son or somebody else will be like, yeah, but if you do this and this, you can cut out all of these steps. And at first I get this. And so I'm like, hell no, like I'm not going to do that. And then I realize like, dude, logically, that makes a lot of sense. Why aren't you doing it that way? So we all get into this. This is going to start popping up this weekend if it hasn't already. So I'm going to advise you to do this. Yes, there's shadow work involved with it, but take a step back. Like when somebody instantly pings that little trigger of, you're stepping on your space, questioning your authority, anything like that, or side seat driving, just take a step back for a minute and look at like, okay, why did I just react like that? Why did I just react like that? Sometimes it comes from the fact that the person that made the comment or said the thing, we look at them as a threat in some way. And there's usually no reason for that, okay? This is going to rear its head a lot. So, just saying, okay? But, honey, take a step back, take a break, okay? Take a break. We've got to take a break from our own spiritual journey sometimes. We get so caught up in the journey that we forget that we have a part of us too. We have a part of us too. Hey, Cade. So, you know what? Somebody reminded me about it being Orange Shirt Day. This isn't the shirt I wore today, but I don't have an orange shirt. And I couldn't find my orange scarf, but I did wear my bright orange tennis shoes. I know it's not a shirt, but man, I love those tennis shoes. I made sure to wear them today. They're like bright orange Hirachis. I love them. All right, Miss Emily. So I have Emily, Nichole, Becky, Amanda, and Jessica. All right. Ready? I think it's very interesting that I have, how many readings have I done at this point? 13. 13. And certain cards keep popping up. If you guys have been sitting here watching for any length of time, you're going to notice exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? Okay? Aw, hey, Cade. I would love that. I would love that. Where are you at? I travel all over. I grew up going to a couple in Colorado my dad used to go to all the time. My dad is native. I am not. I was adopted when I was little. So, yeah. All right. So, Miss Emily. Are we ready? Ready? Emily, you have the Poet of Avalon. This is fame and stagnation and pride. Okay? A lot of times when this card pops up, there's two things going on here. Our pride is getting in the way of something. Not only is our pride getting in the way of something, but it's making us stagnant. When our pride steps up and gets in the way of something, it's like the universe goes, no, 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 no. You're going to stay right there until that pride thingy goes away. Until that, you know, I'm puffing my chest up, you know, I'm the big dog, until that kind of goes away. How many times have you guys seen someone in a very, I'm going to say prominent position, but a lot of times this is usually someone in a political position like a sheriff or a judge or something like that. And they get in this like, oh, their pride gets the best of them. And then they get stagnant. Their career goes nowhere. Their family goes nowhere. Their life goes nowhere. Do you see what I'm saying? I didn't mean it. Their family goes nowhere. You know what I mean? It's just like they just stay flat line. They're stagnant. That's what this card is all about. Okay? Okay? Now, the Triumph of Lies in this case, and notice this is the 3/4 moon here. Thank you, Alicia, for continuing to subscribe. Notice this is the 3/4 moon. So this is going to be affecting you really, really deeply this week. Okay? You're going to see where a lot of this is stuff that you have self-projected. We can project some of our self onto other people. People can project stuff onto us. But we can also project a lot of our insecurities and our wrongness out into the front without healing them. Okay? Not only without healing them, but without even knowing we're doing it. And so then we're projecting it out here like it's this big facade that everybody can see, and then we start projecting it on other people. So whenever you have this card pop up, especially with that, it tells me that this week is going to be really hard with you seeing a lot of the self-imposed injustices that are going on. Does that make sense? Because when we have these facades going on, everything that comes against us, good and bad, things are going to come against you your whole life for you to grow, good and bad. So when things come against you, you kind of, everything is bad. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do whatever. Everything is bad. Does that make sense? So this is going to really pop up a lot this week, Emily. Okay? A lot this week. All right? But you're a tough little shit. I just want to say that, Emily. I just want to say that. Emily, just seeing these cards and seeing I Won't Cry For You on the top tells me that you have a shell like nobody else, man. You have this amazing, crazy shell that's like just bam. I would bet people say that you're really, really hard. I would bet people say that you're intimidating. I would bet people are like, damn, that was mean. Because this is something that you do. Even if you do it jokingly, I would bet you've told people like, you'll be fine, stop it. You'll be fine, stop it. We's friends, Emily. But after this pops up, this is going to pop up where you're going to either want to say something to somebody or be kind of hard and then be like, ooh, why did I say that? Like, ooh, just so you know. Just so you know. When this pops up, you have to do like I told Jeff, have the little 4-year-old Bodhi with you going, well, why? Why am I being really hard on that person, but not on that person when that person deserves to be, have the hardness and this person doesn't? Like, why? Do you see what I'm saying? But don't beat yourself up for any of this. My nose is itching. Somebody's talking about me. Let's just go ahead and itch it. Okay. Yeah. So, Miss Emily, just remember why. You got an interesting week and a half ahead of you, Miss Emily. I'm just saying. This Aries moon has been really hard on a lot of people. You're welcome, sweetie. Did that make sense? Yeah, this Aries moon has been super intense. All right, Miss Nichole. So did you see what I meant? Just certain cards are popping up. All right. Thank you, Catherine. How are you, sweetie? Oh. Finally. Uh-oh. Don't look. 3 cards we have not seen at all yet. Here you go, Miss Nichole. Put my highlighter up there on that. You actually start off with Jeannie the Maid, and this is, I don't see her a lot, humility, disillusionment, and champion. Now, what's interesting about this one is this next card is the Parasite card. Okay? So, this right here is all about being humble. And this right here is all about people taking advantage of you. The shadow work that's popping up and will be popping up, especially as you get toward the new moon, is seeing the people that have been taking advantage of you. A lot of times we know when someone's taking advantage of us. We know, but we don't want to believe it. We don't want to believe that someone that says they care about us, or someone that says they're our friends, or someone that whatever, we don't want to believe that they would take advantage of it. Okay? Take advantage of us. So what I'm going to recommend is when this pops up, your first instinct is going to be humble about it. Let me say this. I understand this a lot. I do. In fact, I would bet most people that are listening to this right now understand this on a deep level. Because we try to be nice and we try to be humble and we try to make sure that everybody likes us. So we allow people with parasitic behaviors to come in and suck us dry. They come in and they start to suck our life force. They start to suck whatever they can from us. And we're humble about it because we want everybody to like us. Because usually people that are parasitic like this, they have no problem screaming to the world about what a piece of shit you are. No matter how nice and humble you are. So, this is gonna pop up. This is gonna pop up a lot. But, Miss Nichole, I'm gonna say this. When this starts to pop up, between now and the new moon, I'm gonna yawn. Okay. I had to do the 2 bits at the end of it, you know, like you can't do shaving a haircut without 2 bits. I'm just saying. You're wrong if you do. Anyway. You're going to have to cut them out. And I did shadow work class, I think it was this last week, on boundaries, on cutting people out as soon as they start to be this parasitic person. So this right here tells me that you have boundaries that you have to set, and your shadow work when it comes to parasitic people needs to be boundaries. Needs to be hardcore boundaries. The other thing I find interesting is this. This is going to be this week. You didn't see anything. This is going to be this week because this is the 3/4 moon. This is the masquerade card, and yes, it came out upside down, meaning that you are swinging back from this aspect of having to be someone else, having to always put on airs to look like someone else, you are swinging too hard the other way. Now, I am going to say this. You can never be too authentically you, but you can swing so hard the other way. Oh, honey. You can swing so hard the other way that we forget. It's almost like we forget how to interact. Does that make sense? I know that you guys have seen people that are super authentically themselves, and they almost forget how to interact in humanity. That's kind of where you're swinging. And so when they forget how to act in society, they just don't. They just don't. Don't swing so far the other way that you stop interacting, that you stop doing things, that you stop going places. Okay? Good night, Binksy, honey. So, Michelle, boundaries and swinging just right in the middle, right where you're supposed to be. Okay? This one's going to be easy because it's just kind of a slight correction, because you went from being over here where you were always somebody that you weren't to make everybody happy to being completely the other way. So it's just fine-tuning it. It's just fine-tuning it. So, I mean, this is actually easier than almost everybody else's that I've talked about. Fine-tuning it, that's it. But this one, however, setting boundaries is hard. Especially when you want people to like you, especially when you try to be humble and you try to be a good person. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I hope that's good tears. I hope that's good tears. You've got this, I promise. Yeah, being a Libra, that balance, that balance will find you. But just know that it's really going to pop up this week hardcore, okay? Hey guys, so my list is closed for this evening. I'm usually not reading this late. I used to all the time, but my old ass has gotten to where I kind of like getting up a little early in the morning. I need to start doing some readings during the day to catch some of you guys that are in other countries. You are welcome so much, Nichole, honey. I will totally take an Elvira compliment. I wish I looked as good in that dress as she does, but I do not. I do not. Really? You can't make this shit up. All right. Becky, are you ready? So I have Becky, Amanda, and Jessica, and then I am going to take my happy ass into bed. All right. Hey, Becky. Well, apparently you have all kinds of intense divine dark feminine going on, because you start off with Lilith, which is hunger and animism and instinct. So one of the interesting things about what's going on with you right now, and here's the thing. Sorry. My hair is growing out. I'm letting my hair grow out, and it's actually getting decently long right there. See, decently long, but it's kind of itchy at the same time. I look like a shaggy dog. But I will say this. I have the best white patch ever. Okay, sorry. I noticed it today. I was like, ah! All right, focus on Becky, bitch. Okay, so Miss Becky, you have really stepped into an amazing, thank you, Miss Alicia, an amazing amount of dark feminine power. This is fantastic. The problem with this is, and why this shadow work card is coming up. So, oh, I love that, Becky. Y'all, I was super excited to get white hair. I was super excited to get white hair. I'm just saying. The reason that this is popping up, especially with shadow work, is because we can get to the point where we act by instinct so hard. Oh, I love you too, Chelsea, honey. I love you, love you, love you. We can act by instinct so much that we don't know how to pull back and how to kind of take everything in stride and really think about things. I'm not saying that acting by instinct is bad, and I'm not saying that acting on your intuition is bad, but when you just instinctively do everything, sometimes you're going to get to the point where you just get further down this path, and all of a sudden you look back and you're like, shit, what just happened? So you have to stop and pay attention to where you are. I love you too, Dawn. Thank you, honey. But what I find funny is I just talked about this card and then it came out. And this is going to affect you really deeply this week. But yours is right side up. So this is the masquerade. Be really careful this week that you don't try to put on airs to be someone or something that you're not to impress other people. Be really careful that you don't try to be someone you're not or be something you're not to make other people happy. Be your authentic self, okay? This is really going to pop up this week with this 3/4 moon right here. But what's also interesting about this is this card isn't just for other people. We can actually be in this masquerade and be completely engulfed in being this person or that person or whatever, and actually just be doing it for ourselves. I know that everybody has heard the term fake it till you make it, but we also know that there are people that, yeah, they're faking it, but they're never going to do the making it part because they don't want to put in the work. They just want to whatever. I'm not saying that that's what you are, okay? I'm just saying that's an example. Like, we all know people like that. Don't be something or someone you're not this week. This is not the week for it. And when that pops up that you're like, why suddenly do I feel like I need to do X, Y, Z? Again, the 4-year-old Bodhi with the why. Why do you feel that way? Why did that just pop up? Okay? And look at the why. Look at the why. This is where the instinct will serve you well, because the instinct will go, because blah, blah, blah. And you'll be like, what? It'll blow your mind, I promise. So the instinct is actually going to work in your favor this week. But this last one is interesting. Thank you, Alicia. How are you? This is the addicted card. And notice that is the crescent moon. This is way toward the end of the month where you have almost new moon energy. You didn't see me yawn. What is interesting about this is this addictive aspect, whatever is going on that you're addicted to, when this pops up in a shadow work reading, I usually have some inkling of what the addiction is about, but I don't think you even know, to be honest. I don't think you even realize this is going on. So when this starts to pop up toward the new moon, you're going to have one of those moments where you kind of sit back and you're like, oh my God, I'm kind of addicted to doing this or saying this or whatever it is. You're going to realize that there's something that you've been doing that you have put into motion and you're now addicted to doing it to not deal with some trauma somewhere. I know that with myself, I tend to throw myself into work instead of dealing with some actual like emotional thingies. So that could be it. It's something like that. Okay? Does that make sense? It's going to be an interesting new moon. This week is going to be okay. But it's going to be an interesting new moon. Don't let this get you down when it happens, okay? Because seeing this other stuff, this is going to pop up and you're going to be like, oh, shit. I am actually addicted to doing that. And I'm doing it because I don't want to deal with XYZ, memories, emotions, whatever. Don't beat yourself up for this. Because this addictive behavior, way of thinking, etc., all of that is a protective mechanism. Y'all, don't ever beat yourself up when you're doing shadow work about the protective mechanisms that you put in place to make it to where you are. Okay? There's a reason you put them in place. All right? Well, we're glad you found us too, Julia. That makes sense, Becky, honey. Next, I have Miss Amanda. Thank you, Aubrey. Don't look. Hey, thank you, Vega. All right. I have fought the whole night, and I've been really good without pulling my legs up in my chair. But here we are. But here we are. I made it the whole evening. And can't wait anymore. Miss Amanda. I almost said Miss Becky because I just said Miss Becky. All right. Ready? You also start off with the Keeper of Whispers. This is forbidden knowledge and curiosity and madness. Okay? Yeah. What is really interesting about this? All right, bud. I hope you have a good evening, hon. Hope you find what you're looking for, babe. We're just going to push that over there. YouTube is interesting with some trolls this evening. Just saying. They're interesting with some hateful trolls this evening. Gotta love it. All right. The Keeper of Whispers is all about forbidden knowledge and curiosity and a little bit of madness. Learning too much too fast. Learning things that you maybe shouldn't know yet too fast. Okay? But your problem is a little different. This came up before. Yours is a little different because the next card is fragmentation. Y'all, social media is rampant with all kinds of information, whether it is right or wrong. We go through all of this information and we look at things and go, wait, I've never thought of it that way before. Maybe I shouldn't eat anything because it's bioengineered. I should grow my own food. I should move out in the middle of nowhere. I should grow my own food. That's not really feasible, is it? But we also have all of this other stuff out here. That was just one example because that one is all over my damn For You page right now. And I don't understand why, but I do understand why. And it's kind of pissing me off. So it is what it is. I digress. When we get fragmented because we have all of this knowledge, it's because our brain has grown to the point where we aren't quite sure what's actually real. We aren't quite sure, like, okay, was the things that I was taught when I was younger, are those things real? Or are the things I'm hearing now on social media real? Do you see what I mean? So we can get really fragmented. So you've gained a ton of knowledge super fucking quick so that you are really, really fragmented. Now, this is really going to come to a head on the other side of the new moon. Right before you get to the new moon, you have gilded regret. This right here, especially when coupled with that forbidden knowledge, tells me that as you've been learning all of these things and as you see all of these crazy conspiracy theories and things like that all over social media, it has fragmented you to the point that you're looking back over your life and regretting all of these other things that, to be honest, you were taught as being correct. And I'm going to say this too, guys. Don't beat yourself up over things that you were taught as a kid. You had no control over what you were taught. Your parents might have a little bit, but you personally, as a kid, did not have control over what you were taught. So don't take this knowledge that you've gained now, and compare it to the knowledge that you gained as a kid, especially if you are older. If you were born before the early 90s, before like the internet and technology really boomed, we learned so much stuff back then that now it's like, holy shit. No wonder a lot of us have diabetes. No wonder a lot of us are XYZ, whatever. Okay? You cannot regret those things because you had no control over them. Thank you for that. Man, Christine was on it. Did you see that? Love it. But know that this new moon, going down towards the new moon, there's going to be a lot of fragmentation work and a lot of regrets that pop up. I'm never going to tell anybody to stop gaining knowledge. You should be learning something new every single day. You really should. But I am going to say this. Sometimes it's okay to take a break. Sometimes it's okay to take a break. You got to have a break in your journey. Such as like a Dancy yawn break, you know? Take a break and kind of pull some of those fragments back together. All right, Miss Amanda? Does that make sense? All right, Miss Jessica. I don't know why, but my nose is so stuffed up, I can't stand myself right now. It's dumb. I was looking to see if Miss Amanda was still here. Thank you, Lizzie. I appreciate that comment, honey. All right. Miss Jessica. Ooh, this full moon. Oh, you cut some shit off. Wow, you can't make this shit up. All right, let me show you. Let me show you. After you had COVID last year, sinus kids. I'm wondering about that because y'all know I had COVID over Labor Day weekend and my nose has been getting plugged up a lot. I also have allergies and hay fever though, so, there's that. All right, Miss Jessica, you start off with the Queen of Shadows. And I feel like this is completely justified. Y'all are going to understand. This is wrath and suspicion and instability. In other words, this moon has pissed you off. This moon has made you angritated to a level that you're like, what in the fuck? You got all the Aries energy with this moon. All the angry Aries. Now, here's what I said you can't make up. So, you have obsession and sacrifice. Notice that this is the 3/4 moon and the crescent moon. In other words, it makes a whole. This is also the number 3 and the number 7, meaning the number 10. They make a whole. You can't make this shit up. So, with this full moon, you have seen something that you got super, super, obsessed with. I didn't really want to say obsessed, but it's obsessed, and the card is obsession. You found out with this full moon that something you had gotten super obsessed with was absolutely not for you, and you had to let it go. You are in the process of sacrificing it right now. You are in the process of setting the boundaries and saying, nope, I can't do this anymore. And the problem is it's got you angry. Like, it's got you angry. And I feel like it's completely justified. Okay, so please don't think I'm saying not to be angry. I feel like it's completely justified. But here's the thing about these two. Yes, they go hand in hand. Yes, they've got you angry. And yes, you are setting boundaries and letting things go. I want you to look back and see what it was that got you put into this obsession in the first place. What was it that pushed you over the edge from just thinking about it, just doing it, just whatever, to an obsession? What pushed you over the edge? What inside of you caused you to need that addictive aspect? Do you see what I'm saying? That obsession, that addiction, whatever this was. What is it that caused you to get into that? The other thing is this. What is it that caused you to hang on to that obsession for so long that you're just now cutting it off? Do you see what I'm saying? It's a lot of why and why. I know you're like, you just said why, and I understand that. But this is a deep, deep, what got me so obsessed? What was the turning point that got me obsessed? And why could I not cut it off before now? It's really, really an intense thing. And like I said, honey, I feel like you have every single reason to be mad. Every single one. Okay? Don't stress about it. Just ask yourself, what got you there? Why you stayed there? Okay? So, that right there, I'll refresh my list one more time, but I am pretty sure that is my list. That is all the reads I had to do for this evening. Maybe. It's taken forever. Yep. That is it. That's it. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I don't get told that enough, so I appreciate that. All right. So you guys here on YouTube, I will see you guys tomorrow for some geometric sigil drawings.